You know, investing can sometimes feel like you're trying to grab smoke. It's all charts and noise and opinions, and it makes you wonder, what am I actually buying? It all feels so abstract. But today, we're going to build a mental model to make that intangible value feel solid, something you can actually grab onto. Think about real estate for a second. It's totally concrete, right? You can touch the walls, you can see the land. It's a real asset you can physically get your head around. But stocks, they often feel like the complete opposite. Sure, they represent ownership, but their value seems to just ride this whirlwind of market sentiment and endless opinions. You can't hold it in your hand. So, how do we do it? How do we cut through all that abstraction? How can we possibly think about a stock with the same kind of clarity we have when we look at a physical building? Well, it turns out the answer starts with a really simple but incredibly powerful shift in perspective. And that shift, it all begins by asking one single fundamental question that gets right to the heart of any investment you'll ever make. What do I actually get for my money? This question leads us to a philosophy we can call tangible return investing. It's all about tuning out the hype, the seductive stories, and the market noise, and instead focusing with laser-like precision on the real, concrete value a business provides. It's about what you get, not just what you hope for. So what do you really get? Well, you get a piece of the company's profits, you get a claim on its real-world assets, we're talking factories, patents, all that stuff, and you get a share of its cash flow. See? These are the tangible things that give a stock its actual underlying value. To really bring this all to life, we need a powerful metaphor, a way to visualize the relationship between a company's real value and its often crazy stock price. So let's explore what I call the trampoline effect. Okay, just picture a trampoline in your mind. The first thing you see is probably that big steel frame. It's solid, it's stationary, it doesn't really move. That solid frame, that represents the company's true intrinsic value, its consistent underlying earnings power. Think of it as the anchor for absolutely everything else. And then, of course, you've got the mat. It's flexible, it's elastic, and it's always moving up and down depending on who's jumping on it. That mat, that's the stock's market price. It gets pushed and pulled all over the place by news, by fear, and by greed. Now, here's the crucial part. A real opportunity is created when the price, the mat, gets pushed way, way down, but the earnings power, the frame, stays strong and doesn't budge. That gap, that stretching of the mat, creates a ton of potential energy. The further that price drops away from the stable frame, the greater the potential for a powerful snapback. So if the frame is the most important part of this whole thing, we have to understand what makes it strong in the first place. What is it that gives a company that durable, stationary earnings power we can actually rely on? I mean, what are the characteristics of a business that create a frame of solid steel instead of one that's made out of flimsy plastic? Well, a strong frame is built on a few key pillars. We're talking about things like high barriers to entry that keep competitors out, strong and predictable cash flow, recurring revenue models, and valuable intellectual property. The more of these pillars a company has, the stronger and more durable that frame is going to be. But beyond the balance sheet, the truly indestructible frames, they have a much deeper source of strength. They have an essential, almost symbiotic relationship with the world around them. This right here is the ultimate test of a strong frame. Does the company's success actually help society move forward? And in turn, does society's reliance on that company help guarantee its stability? When a company becomes an indispensable part of human progress, its earnings power becomes incredibly resilient. Okay, so we know how to spot a strong frame, but even the best analysis in the world can be completely undone by the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, the investor's own mind. And it's so true. You can do all the research, find the most stable company on earth, but if you panic the second the market gets a little shaky, none of it matters. The trampoline effect only works if you have the conviction to act when that elastic energy is at its absolute peak. And this is exactly where our own cognitive biases trip us up. Herd mentality makes us want to sell when everyone else is selling, which is right when the trampoline mat is at its lowest point. And then there's the availability bias, which makes us overreact to scary headlines while completely forgetting about the long-term stability of the frame.
Just recognizing these mental traps, that's half the battle.
So let's bring all these ideas together now. Let's put them into a simple, repeatable framework you can actually use to analyze any investment with this kind of newfound clarity. Here it is, just 4 simple steps. First, step 1, make it tangible. Always ask, what do I get? Second, step 2, find the trampoline. Learn to separate that volatile price, the mat, from the stable earnings power, the frame. Third, step 3, test that frame. Is it made of steel? And finally, step 4, master your mind so you can act rationally when everyone else is panicking. And that brings us to a final thought I want to leave you with. Using this new model, just look at the world around you. Think about the products you use every day, the services you really rely on. Which of those companies do you think have truly durable, stationary frames, creating that amazing potential for the trampoline effect? The answer might just surprise you.